congratulations. Now we'd like to bring up Oren Dreeben, our President and CEO of the Children's Shelter. Oren is the perfect example of a passionate individual that is doing extraordinary things for our shelter. His enthusiasm is contagious, and we're so delighted to have him as our leader. So please welcome Oren Dreeben.
Hard acts to follow, huh? Let me get my speech out. Imagine, it's late at night, dark and quiet, you're in bed. All of a sudden you hear an unfamiliar and startling sound coming from another part of your house, and you're home alone. Imagine you're walking to your car late at night, alone, and you hear footsteps of someone coming up behind you. We all know the feeling of fear. We've all experienced that terrible sense of helplessness, that feeling of being victimized by someone or something out of our control. The experience may have come about through different circumstances, but we all know that overwhelming feeling of adrenaline rushing, that paralyzing feeling that comes with terror. We all know what it's like to not feel safe. It's a terrible thing to know that there are children in our community who live with these feelings every day and every night of their lives. I know this harsh reality weighs heavily on all of us. It's sad, it's unfair, it's inconceivable that now, in 2010, there are children in our society who are neglected, abandoned, and abused to the point of needing to be removed from the very family in which they should be nurtured, protected, and loved. I am grateful. I'm so profoundly grateful to be able to work at the Children's Shelter, where the single most important mission is to protect children, the most vulnerable and unprotected children, children who come to us traumatized from horrible environments where all they've known is fear and abuse. I want you to walk down a path with me today. A path that's the Children's Shelter. Newborns, infants, toddlers, children up to the age of 14 are brought to our emergency shelter for protection. A beautiful 56-bed facility with an on-campus school and medical and dental clinic. These frightened children are welcomed with open and loving arms by child care providers who are some of the kindest people you've ever known, in addition to being trained to meet these children's physical and emotional needs. Let me tell you a story. Joey is a 3-year-old boy. He was brought to our emergency shelter. He seemed very bright, although he wasn't able to express himself very well verbally. Joey suffered. He suffered through each night and would wake screaming, inconsolable. This little 3-year-old boy would call himself derogatory names and hit himself in the face over and over again, so hard that he developed contusions. Just imagine the nightmares this kid must have experienced at only 3 years old. Our child care providers had quite a challenge to comfort Joey until Arcelia Gomez discovered that singing to Joey was the one thing that would soothe him. So the rest of the staff adopted Arcelia's method, gently encouraging and praising Joey through song. As time passed, Joey became more trusting and his behavior toward himself softened. The miracle? While in our care at the Children's Shelter, when Joey became frightened, frustrated, or agitated, in his own precious 3-year-old voice, he sang to himself. And he soothed himself. I can assure you, Joey felt safe at the Children's Shelter. Sadly, there are children in our community who've been removed from their homes and brought to the Children's Shelter due to the worst imaginable abuse and trauma. These children require an intensive, long-term therapeutic environment. The Children's Shelter provides that safe haven at the KCI Servants Heart Residential Treatment Center. It's an incredible facility, and the medical center area and provides a safe and healing environment for 36 children ages 5 to 12. It's hard. It's painful to imagine the suffering these vulnerable children have experienced, but I want you to know these children placed in our care are safe today, they'll be safe tomorrow, and they will be safe for as long as they stay at our residential treatment center. Recently at the residential treatment center, an 8-year-old boy began shouting. He was shouting uncontrollably and throwing objects from shelves, overturning furniture. Due to severe abuse and trauma, he was completely unable to communicate his feelings in a healthy manner. Melissa Molina, our day shift supervisor at the residential treatment center, used her gentle approach and said to the boy, "You know, when I get in that mood, sometimes I just need a hug. Do you need a hug?" Upon hearing her words, the boy began to cry. He fell into Melissa's arms and poured out to her why he was so angry. With Melissa, he felt cared for. He felt safe. Many children who've been removed from their families due to abuse and neglect need a foster family, a family that will open their homes and hearts to provide them a safe and nurturing environment. Every child wants a forever family. Some children have been adopted by parents who've already raised children of their own and still have room in their hearts to love and nurture another. One such family is the Leza family. I believe they're sitting back there. There are beautiful photos on one of the cards in front of me. Margie and Jesus Leza, whose biological children are now grown, made the decision to foster and then adopt children through the children's shelter. When asked why they would take on such responsibility when they've already raised children of their own, the reply was simply, these children need a home. They don't have anyone. They don't have anyone to count on, no one to go home to. For those extraordinary people who are willing and want to foster and adopt children, the Children's Shelter provides extensive support to the families throughout every phase of the fostering and adoption process. We have an extensive training and home study program to ensure children will be placed in the most stable, healthy, and loving homes possible. And we rest assured knowing these children living with these families are safe. The Children's Shelter has spent over 100 years taking care of children who have been abused. For the last 12 years, we've been working with parents to prevent child abuse. In 1998, we developed an idea, a very good idea, called Project MOS, Project Mothers in Schools. Project MOS is dedicated to helping teen parents become nurturing parents and successful members in our community. Our goal is to teach young families to create a home environment that is nurturing, positive, supportive, and safe. The national statistics are startling, but very, very clear. Children who have the highest risk of being abused are those born to teen moms. To date, we've worked with over 1,700 young mothers, and we're proud to report to you, not a single one, has been reported for child abuse. Their children are safe. And 90% of our Project MOS participants have not had another pregnancy while in high school. Over 80% have graduated from high school, and over 60% have pursued postgraduate training or college. We took this experience from our work on Project MOS and brought another very successful parenting program to San Antonio. In 2008, the Children's Shelter and University Health Systems were designated to administer the Nurse Family Partnership Program in San Antonio and Bexar County. The Nurse Family Partnership is a 30-year-old national program with proven success in affecting the health of new mothers and their children. We have 8 registered nurses who conduct home visits to high-risk first-time mothers of all ages. And the nurses develop and maintain a close relationship with the mother and child from pregnancy through the child's second birthday. The short-term results are improved prenatal health and maternal health. Long-term results show a significant reduction in child abuse. The Nurse Family Partnership contributes immeasurably to keeping children safe. About 10 years ago,